What up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio, live from Dubai for Monday, January 29th, 2018, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, on Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Bruno Mars picked up several of the biggest prizes at the 2018 Grammy Awards, including Best Album, Record, and Song of the Year, while Kendrick Lamar won the top rap categories. Mars' 24K Magic won for Best Album, beating out Kendrick Lamar's Damn, Jay-Z's 444, Childish Gambino's Awaken My Love, and Lord's Melodrama. 24K Magic also won for Record of the Year, the category that recognizes the artist's performance combined with overall contributions of the producers, recording engineers, and mixers. Mars and his team beat out Redbone by Childish Gambino, Despacito by Luis Fonsi and Daddy Yankee featuring Justin Bieber, The Story of OJ by Jay-Z, and Humble by Kendrick Lamar. Song of the Year, which recognizes the songwriters of a particular track, was also nabbed by Mars for That's What I Like. Sharing the honors was Mars were songwriters Christopher Brody Brown, James Fauntleroy, Philip Lawrence, Bruno Mars, Ray Charles McAuliffe II, Jeremy Reeves, Ray Romulus, and Jonathan Yip. Mars' win didn't end there. The Hawaiian-born artist also won for Best R&B Performance for That's What I Like and Best R&B Album for 24K Magic. Lamar lost out on Album of the Year, but he cleaned up the rap hip-hop categories. Damn took Best Rap Album, and Humble took Best Rap Song, as well as Best Rap Performance. And Lamar was also recognized for Best Rap Song Performance, along with Rihanna for Loyalty. In the rock categories, The War on Drugs and The National were the big winners. The War on Drugs won Best Rock Album for A Deeper Understanding, and The National won for Best Alternative Album for Sleep Well Beast. Alicia Cara won for Best New Artist. Ed Sheeran won for Best Pop Soul Performance for his song Shape of You. Portugal the Man won for Best Pop Duo Group Performance for their song Feel It Still. Tony Bennett won for Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album for Tony Bennett Celebrates 90. Ed Sheeran also won for Best Pop Vocal Album for his album Winner. For Best Dance Recording, it went to LCD System for their song Tonight, and Kraftwerk won for Best Dance Electronic Album for 3D The Catalog. Chris Stapleton won for Best Country Solo Performance for his song Either Way, and Little Big Town won for Best Country Duo Group Performance for Better Man. For the Best Country Song, it went to Broken Hollows, written by Mike Henderson and Chris Stapleton, sung by Chris Stapleton, and Chris Stapleton won for Best Country Album for his album From a Room Volume 1. In a related story, Kendrick Lamar opened the 2018 Grammy Awards with a fiery performance that was accompanied by members of U2 and comedian Dave Chappelle. The show opened with Lamar performing Triple X from his latest album, Damn, as dancers marched with images of the American flag in the background. Lamar was then joined by U2's Bono and The Edge, who appeared on the studio version of Triple X. In an interlude, Chappelle appeared on stage. Chappelle says, "I just wanted to remind the audience that the only thing more frightening than watching a black man be honest in America is being an honest black man in America." Lamar came back on stage with the solo drummer, dressed in a robe as he performed J-Rock's King's Dead. Chappelle returned on stage. He says, "Is this on cable? It's CBS. It looks like it's singing, but this brother's taking enormous chances. Rumble, young man, rumble." Lamar's performance ended with dancers falling to the ground one by one to the sounds of gunshots. Oscar-winning director Steven Spielberg plans to make the fifth Indiana Jones movie his next project. The Hollywood Reporter said Spielberg plans to film the Indiana Jones sequel in 2019 for a 2020 release, then follow it up with the remake of the movie musical West Side Story featuring a primarily Latino cast. Collider.com noted the as-yet untitled Indiana Jones project is slated to open in theaters more than 10 years after its previous installment, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Harrison Ford will once again play the titular archaeologist and will be celebrating his 77th birthday next year. Spielberg is currently on the awards circuit for his newspaper drama The Post, starring Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep. Joanne Whalley is to play a strong-willed nun in Season 3 of Marvel's Daredevil, which is to premiere later this year. The British actress is best known for her work in Willow, Scarlet, and Edge of Darkness. Jeb Loeb, the superhero show's executive producer and Marvel's head of television, said in a statement, "We're big fans of Joanne's work and are fortunate that someone of her caliber will be joining our already talented family." Eric Olson, the showrunner and executive producer, added, "Joanne is a rare talent and a terrific creative collaborator. Watching her bring her role to life has the writers all pinching ourselves." Marvel describes Whaley's character, Sister Maggie, as a, quote, strong-willed nun who speaks her mind and cares deeply about Matt's safety. Charlie Cox plays Matt Murdock, a.k.a. Daredevil. Deborah Ann Wall plays Karen Page, and Eldon Henson plays Foggy Nelson on the show. Also returning for Season 3 on a recurring basis is Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk. The first 2 seasons of Marvel's Daredevil are now streaming on Netflix. Charlie Kaufman has been tapped to write and direct an adaptation of I'm Thinking of Ending Things for Netflix. The streaming service announced the project Thursday on Twitter, describing Ian Reid's book as a nightmarish road trip novel and Kaufman as a hilariously depressing force behind Eternal Sunshine, Being John Malkovich adaptation, Amnon Lisa, and Schenectady, New York. No casting or debut date has been announced. Charlie Kaufman, quote, will write and direct an adaptation of the nightmarish road trip novel I'm Thinking of Ending Things for Netflix. The CW has handed out a pilot order for a Charm reboot that will feature a new trio of witches. The synopsis for the reboot reads, "This fierce, funny, feminist reboot of the original series centers on 3 sisters in a college town who discovers they are witches. It continues between vanishing supernatural demons, tearing down the patriarchy, and maintaining familiar bonds. A witch's work is never done." The reboot is being written by Jessica O'Toole and Amy Reardon, who are also executive producing alongside Jane the Virgin boss Jenny Erman, known as the Hollywood Reporter. CBS Television Studios is handling the project, which will be directed by Brad Sieberling, who is also executive producing alongside Ben Silverman. The original Charm will star Alyssa Milano, Holly Marie Combs, and Shannon Doherty for 3 seasons before Rose McGowan came aboard, and it aired on the WB for 8 seasons from 1998 to 2006. The WB was relaunched as the CW in 2006. Combs previously said in July that she, Milano, and McGowan will not be returning for a reboot. The reboot is set to take place in the modern day after the CW president Mark Pedowitz announced plans in January to set the new Charm series in 1976. CBS is working on a new version of classic shows Magnum P.I. and Cagney and Lacey. Variety said pilots for the remakes have been ordered for the 2018-2019 television season. No casting has been announced yet. The network is already the home of SWAT, Hawaii Five-0, and MacGyver reboots. It also announced this week it has ordered more episodes of Murphy Brown, with its original star Candice Bergen returning more than a decade after the sitcom went off the air. Deadline.com said that the new Magnum P.I. will once again be a private investigator drama set in Hawaii, but this time will feature a female Higgins psychic. John Hillerman created the part and played it opposite Tom Selleck as the title character on the show, which ran from 1980 to 1988. Set in Los Angeles, the police drama Cagney and Lacey aired from 1982 to 1988 and starred Tyne Daly and Sharon Gless. The Walking Dead and Love Actually actor Andrew Lincoln is to narrate the audio version of Quidditch Through the Ages, written by J.K. Rowling as Kenilworthy Wisp. The sports guide and history book is a spinoff of the Harry Potter fantasy films and novels. It will be released by Pottermore on March 15th. Audible Executive Vice President and Publisher Beth Anderson said in a statement Friday, "We're thrilled to offer Audible listeners a brilliant performance of yet another essential component of J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World and bring this richly imagined universe to life through Lincoln's narration and the highly detailed sound design. The Harry Potter series remains among the highest rated, most downloaded, and most listened to audiobooks in our store." Andrew Lincoln actually remarked it. Pottermore Digital Audio product manager Ravina Bajwa wrote, "Killing Word Wisp Quidditch Through the Ages is the most authoritative work on Quidditch in the Wizarding world. Andrew Lincoln has done an astonishing job interpreting Wispa's magical textbook into an enchanting vocal performance. His narration brings out both the charming humor in J.K. Rowling's writing and the vibrant characters that have inhabited the world of Quidditch through this time. Using real objects and spatialized sound, Pinewood's art-winning sound designers have created effects that dance through the recording, placing the listener into the frantic heart of a live Quidditch match. Pottermore will donate some of the proceeds for the sales of this audiobook to Comic Relief and Rowling's international charity Loomis. Lincoln says, the Wizarding world is one that I always wanted to get the chance to step into. What makes this project so special is not only that it allows me opportunities to create something my kids love and enjoy, but it also supports great causes like Comic Relief and Loomis. The Grey's Anatomy spinoff about firefighters is officially titled Station 19. Executive producer Paris Barclay confirmed as much in a tweet Thursday alongside a clip of the cast on set. He captioned the post, keeping it simple and sweet, hashtag Grey's Anatomy spinoff now officially at Station 19, hashtag TGIT. Jaina Lee Ortiz, who will play firefighter Andy Herrera, also shared the clip on her own account. She wrote, Happy Dance. We have a title, Station 19 at Station 19 at Grey's Anatomy, hashtag Grey's Anatomy spinoff, hashtag Station 19 at TGIT, March 22nd at 9 p.m. 2-hour premiere. Ortiz, Jason George, and Gray Damon will star as members of the Seattle Fire Department. George, who portrays Ben Warren on Grey's Anatomy, will reprise the character as a rookie firefighter. 4 new songs written for the Broadway musical Frozen are scheduled to be released on consecutive Fridays beginning February 23rd. The tracks will be available at thefrozenthemusical.com and wherever music is sold or streamed. Oscar-winning songwriting team Kristen Anderson Lopez and Robert Lopez announced a music release strategy at BroadwayCon on Friday. A news release says the 4 new songs include Monster, a new Act 2 solo from Elsa, What Do You Know About Love, a new duet from Anna and Kristoff, Dangerous to Dream, a new interior monologue sung by Elsa, and True Love, a new Act 2 solo for Anna. The songs will be recorded by the Broadway cast featuring Casey Levy as Elsa, Patty Murin as Anna, and Jelena Aladdin as Kristoff. The stage musical adaptation of the 2013 animated movie will begin performances February 22nd at the St. James Theater. Viola Davis says working with fellow ABC star Kerry Washington was a magical experience. The 52-year-old actress discussed her on-screen chemistry with Washington on Thursday's episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live ahead of the How to Get Away with Murder and Scandal crossover episode. Davis, who plays Annalise Keating on How to Get Away with Murder, said, I have to tell you, every time we touch on the show, it was static electricity. Every single time it was black girl magic on steroids, I'm telling you. Davis told host Jimmy Kimmel she hopes her sparks with Washington, who portrays Olivia Pope on Scandal, will translate to the screen. She said of the episode, I haven't seen it yet, I'm hoping. How to Get Away with Murder and Scandal were both created by producer Shonda Rhimes. Rhimes confirmed the crossover episode in a tweet this month, with Washington later calling the collaboration a dream. The 40-year-old actress told Entertainment Tonight at the Golden Globe Awards, it's a little bit of a dream come true. She added, the fact that I get to do scenes with Viola Davis is such a dream come true because she's such a hero of mine. We've done a lot of press together for Shondaland, but to be able to work together is pretty phenomenal. The How to Get Away with Murder and Scandal crossover episode will air March 1st. Reese Witherspoon and Oprah Winfrey have responded on Twitter to the extra limbs they appear to have in the latest issue of Vanity Fair. Witherspoon and Winfrey appear on the cover and within the pages of Vanity Fair's recently released annual Hollywood issue that highlights some of the biggest stars in the industry. Witherspoon on the cover appears to have 3 legs while she is sitting down with her arm around Oprah. The actress says, well, I guess everybody knows now I have 3 legs. I hope you can still accept me for who I am, and I will never apologize for snuggling at Oprah. If you get the opportunity, I highly recommend it. Winfrey, meanwhile, in the behind-the-scenes photo found inside the magazine, appeared to have 3 hands while she is seen with Witherspoon and Tom Hanks. The media mogul said in response to Witherspoon's tweet, I accept your 3rd leg as I know you accept my 3rd hand. Vanity Fair responded to the photo mishap on Twitter, saying that the appearance of a 3rd leg on Witherspoon was due to the lining of her dress. The magazine says, as for at Oprah, how can we expect her to juggle it all with just 2 hands? Mad About You co-creator and star Paul Reiser says the possibility of reviving the sitcom remains alive, but he doesn't have much news to report. Reiser tweeted Saturday, "We're still talking, tough decision, but thank you all you nice people that have chimed in with nice things to say. We'll definitely keep you posted. Hashtag Mad About You." The show features Reiser and Helen Hunt as the Butchmans, a young couple juggling marriage, friends, and career in New York City. It ran from 1992 to 1999 on NBC. Former Saturday Night Live cast member Will Ferrell returned this weekend as the show's guest host, reviving his impersonation of George W. Bush for the occasion. Ferrell, as Bush, explained in a sketch that he built a replica of the White House Oval Office in a basement of his home in Texas after his 2 terms so he could, quote, pretend to still be president sometimes, boasting his approval rating is at an all-time high. He said, Donnie Q. Trump came in, and suddenly I'm looking pretty sweet by comparison. At this rate, I might end up in Mount Rushmore right next to Washington, Lincoln, and I want to say Kensington. I don't know. But the point is, I'm suddenly popular AF. And a lot of people are saying, man, I wish George W. Bush was still our president right about now. So I just want to address my fellow Americans tonight and remind you guys that I was really bad, like historically not good. So I get why you don't like this current guy. Heck, I voted for Jill Stein all the way. But please do not look back at my presidency and think, this is how we do it. Don't forget, we still in 2 different wars that I started. Hey, what has 2 thumbs up and created ISIS? This guy. At least the stock market is doing well now. You ever see a graph of the stock market during my presidency? It's the only graph that will come with its own slide whistle sound effect. Stock market's at 26,000 right now. I had you guys cool down at a cool 8K. Now I'm no economicer. Not even I know that I was no bueno. Leslie Jones then joined him as former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice, and the pair sang their own rendition of Those Were the Days. Former couple Kailyn Lowry and Javi Marroquin says a reconciliation just won't happen. The 25-year-old Teen Mom star and Marroquin discussed the possibility of getting back together in an interview with Us Weekly published Thursday. Marroquin says, I just think there's a lot of history between us that neither of us will ever let go. Even if we were to try it again, the future, it wouldn't work just because I know the type of person I am and the type of person she is, and we argue. It just wouldn't happen. Lowry, who shares 4-year-old son Lincoln with Marroquin, agreed that she and her ex-husband have a history of conflict. The star says, Javi argues out of passion. Javi is a habitual arguer and never let her goer. Javi for sure needs to choose his battles. She added, I don't think we could get back together. Lowry and Marroquin split in 2016 after nearly 3 years of marriage, but have appeared on friendly terms as of late. The pair's interview follows Marroquin's split from Lowry's co-star Brianna De Jesus this month. De Jesus said in a statement to Blasting News, I have no bad things to say about him. He wanted a wife and a home right now, and I didn't see a reason to rush. I wish him the best going forward. Marroquin was among those to support Lowry's decision to back out of scheduled plastic surgeries this week. Lowry said in a series of tweets that she decided not to go through with lipo or a boob job hours before going under the knife. Chrissy Teigen says daughter Luna is going through a nurturing motherly stage. The 32-year-old model and television personality who is expecting her second child with husband John Legend said in an interview with Pop Sugar that Luna is obsessed with dolls but not quite ready to welcome a sibling. Teigen shared, she's in this weird baby stage, a really nurturing motherly stage, and I think all toddlers get there, even when their mothers aren't pregnant. She's piling in baby dolls into all her strollers and pushing them around. She says, maybe I'm underestimating her, but I think when I start breastfeeding and this thing comes out, that's when she's going to be like, what? Which I'm kind of excited for because she's very much a daddy's girl. So I think that jealousy might be kind of good for her. Teigen announced in November that she's expecting again in vitro fertilization. She said in an interview with E! News this month that she promised Legend that she'd keep the baby's sex secret, but told Pop Sugar she hasn't done a great job. The star said of Legend, I keep wanting to just say it because everyone knows everything about us, but he wants to have one thing for us. She added, I'm shocked it hasn't been anywhere. I mean, at Lip Sync Battle, I have a hot mic. It's always on. I'll never remember that I mic'd, ever. I'll run up to the celebrities and they'll be like, what are you having? I told thousands of people. Teigen and Legend welcomed Luna in April 2016. The model shared a sweet moment with her daughter at the playground in a new photo this month, writing, "We are very skeptical of slides right now." Kumail Nanjiani was seen eating Brussels sprouts on Twitter after he lost a bet to filmmaker Edgar Wright. Wright, who directed 2017's Baby Driver, bet Nanjiani that his comedy drama The Big Sick would get nominated for an Oscar. Wright said Thursday, alongside photos of Nanjiani eating Brussels sprouts alongside a glass of champagne, "I love Brussels sprouts. Mr. Kumail does not. Last year I said he and Emily V. Gordon would be nominated for original screenplay at the 2018 Oscars, and that if I was right, he had to eat a bowl of sprouts." Wright continued, "So last night we celebrated with that classic combo, champagne and sprouts." Nanjiani said in response, "I've never been happier to lose a bet and eat a bowl of something I dislike. Thank you, at Edgar Wright." Nanjiani starred in and co-wrote The Big Sick with his wife, Emily V. Gordon. The film depicts the real-life love story about the couple. Janet Jackson, Mary J. Blige, and more are set to headline the 2018 Essence Festival in July. The festival, which promises 4 days of music, culture, and entertainment, will take place from July 5th to the 8th at the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans across 5 stages. Jackson and Blige will be joined by other headlining acts, including Miguel, Fantasia, and Escape, along with a set featuring Erykah Badu and Jill Scott, with Snoop Dogg and other guests in a special creation by The Roots. Nail Caesar, Her, Kelela, Ro James, DVSN 112, Mila Music, Kevin Ross, Mariska Ambrose, and Teddy Riley's new Jack Swing experience featuring Rex and Effect, Blackstreet, and Guy will also be performing alongside with host Roy Wood Jr. Weekend ticket packages are on sale starting $150. The 2018 Essence Festival will also feature a super lounge that offers a DJ-curated experience featuring sets by actors Idris Elba and MC Lyte. Maze Runner: The Death Cure is the #1 movie at the North American box office this weekend, earning $23.5 million in receipts, BoxOfficeMojo.com announced Sunday. Coming in at #2 is Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle with $16.4 million, followed by Hostels at #3 with $10.2 million, The Greatest Showman at #4 with $9.5 million, and The Post at #5 with $8.9 million. Rounding up the top tier are 12 Strong at #6 with $8.6 million, Den of Thieves at #7 with $8.4 million, The Shape of Water at #8 with $5.7 million, Paddington 2 at #9 with $5.6 million, and Path of Vat at #10 with $4.3 million. And now let's take a look at what happened on this date in entertainment history. On this date in 1958, Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward married. One of Hollywood's most enduring marriages begins on this date in 1958 when Paul Newman weds Joanne Woodward in Las Vegas, Nevada. The two actors first met in the early 50s while working in New York City on the Broadway production of the romantic drama Picnic. Newman had a supporting role and filled in for the show's star, while Woodward was the understudy to play the female's lead. They were both members of Lee Strasberg's prestigious Actors Studio, alongside Marlon Brando, James Dean, and Rod Steiger. After the play's success, Newman and Woodward both headed to Hollywood, where he signed a contract with Warner Brothers, and she began working for 20th Century Fox. Though Newman's first film, The Silver Chalice, in 1954, was a bomb, he followed it up with an acclaimed turn as the boxer Rocky Graziano in Somebody Up There Likes Me in 1956. Woodward had even more an early success starring as a woman with multiple personality disorder in The Three Faces of Eve in 1957. The role won her an Oscar for Best Actress. In 1957, Newman was cast opposite Woodward and Orson Welles in The Long Hot Summer. In 1958, a film set in a small, sweltering Mississippi town and based on short stories by William Faulkner. By the time filming ended, Newman and Woodward were discreetly living together. After Newman's divorce from his first wife was finalized, the group headed to Las Vegas, where they married in January 1958. After the ceremony, the couple honeymooned at London's Conrad Hotel. Over the course of the next 2 decades, Newman starred in a series of critically acclaimed, commercially successful movies, most notably The Hustler in 1962, HUD in 1963, and Cool Hand Luke in 1967, and 2 blockbuster pairings with Robert Redford, Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid in 1969, and The Sting in 1973. He and Woodward starred together in a number of films, including From the Terrace in 1960, Paris Blues 1961, and A New Kind of Love in 1963, none of which matched the success of The Long Hot Summer. In 1968, Newman made his directorial debut with the film Rachel, Rachel. As the character, Woodward garnered an Oscar nomination for Best Actress, one of 4 total nominations that film received. Upon the film's release, Newman remarked in the press that Woodward had given up her career for him, and that's why he directed the movie for her. By that time, Woodward and Newman had 3 daughters and were living in Connecticut, far from the glare of the Hollywood spotlight. In addition to the diverse worlds of film and auto racing, which Newman got involved with after starring in the 1969 film Winning, the couple were also active in liberal politics, lobbying for various causes and speaking publicly on behalf of the Democratic candidates. Newman was later appointed by President Jimmy Carter to serve on the United Nations Conference of Nuclear Disarmament. Throughout, the couples diligently defended the solidarity of their marriage against press speculation, posing together for a Life magazine spread in 1968 and placing a full-page ad in the Los Angeles Times the following year proclaiming that they were still happily together. The marriage weathered some hard times. They later admitted that their work together on the effects of the gamma rays on Man in the Moon miracles in 1972, in which Newman again directed his wife, caused strain in the marriage and sustained them through tragedy, as Newman's son Scott died from a drug overdose in 1978. 1987, Newman once again directed his wife in the well-received film The Glass Menagerie. That same year, he won his first Oscar for Best Actor after he reprised his hustler role as Fast Eddie Felson in the Martin Scorsese-directed sequel, The Color of Money. In 1990, Newman and Woodward starred together for the 10th time in Mr. and Mrs. Bridge. They also appeared in the HBO movie Empire Falls in 2005, but had no scenes together. By that time, Newman had turned another of his hobbies, a small salad dressing company he started in 1982, into a retail empire, Newman's own, which would eventually generate more than $220 million in charitable donations and expanded to include popcorn, pasta sauces, salsa, and fruit drinks. Newman and Woodward celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary in January 2008. Later that year, Newman was set to direct a stage production of John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men at the Westport County Playhouse in Westport, Connecticut, where Woodward is the artistic director. He withdrew from the production in June, citing health reasons, and it was later reported that he had been diagnosed with lung cancer. Newman died on September 26, 2008, at the age of 83. And as your entertainment report for Monday, January 29th, 2018, I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo. That's RAYMELO. On Twitter at The Enter Report, or on Instagram at The Entertainment Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com or your iHeart phone app, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Good night, and God bless you all.